Hello, I'm Kathy Carter with A. Carter Real Estate Group, a proud member of the Susan Zachariah Brokerage. Today we're going to review with you the Know the Numbers series that I've been doing since COVID-19, and it discusses the numbers of real estate transaction in Brazoria County. So let's go on ahead and get started. So we're going to begin with the financial markets. The biggest thing that happened this week was we reached a deal with OPEC. They have agreed to cut their oil production by 9.7 million barrels per day beginning May 1st. Mexico's agreed to cut just under 100,000 barrels, and the U.S. did not agree to cut any, which was really a win for the U.S., a win for Mexico, not so much for OPEC. This will begin May 1st. The trick is going to be is usually whenever we have a deal with OPEC, after a couple months, they slowly start ratcheting up their output. So we'll have to wait and see with that. As we know, energy drives the Texas economy. So currently, the average price for a barrel right now is $27 on the open market. Really, for us to be profitable in that sector, we need it to be about $45 a barrel. So we're, quite a bit ways off. So during this time, we can anticipate that the U.S. will eventually slowly start cutting its production to increase the cost of a barrel of gas. One thing that the markets are reacting favorably to this week is COVID-19. We've slowly started flattening the curve a little bit. We've announced that we expect a lower death rate than anticipated. We're looking at about 60,000 deaths, which is still horrible, but it's better than, the million or so we were projected to hit at one point. Another thing that the market is showing favoritism for is that Spain and Italy are now beginning to kind of release the restrictions on people, and they're really coming out of this horrible state they were in. So the market's acting favorably to that. So earnings are going to be announced, quite a few, in the coming weeks. I do anticipate that earnings will be, pretty decent. The challenge is because COVID really didn't impact businesses until the last half of March. So really when we're going to see the impact on businesses will be when they do their Q2 announcement. So that'll be a ways off. Some will be providing guidance on what those numbers will look like and will begin lowering expectations. Some will not, because they're really not sure what the impact is going to be right now. So that's something that the market will really tend to watch, and will be quite interested to see how it reacts to the earnings reports. On a positive note, I didn't know if you're aware of this, but Johnson & Johnson has received a contract from the federal government for the amount of $1 billion, and for that they have agreed to mass produce over 1 billion vaccines. So once the research gets going and we do get a vaccine developed, Johnson will be ready to, will be responsible for producing those vaccinations for everyone for COVID-19. So that's something positive, as we move towards the future, as we start opening this economy back up. That will definitely start impacting the housing market a little bit more. But for now, let's go on ahead and take a look at mortgage rates and see what's going on with the lending sector. So first of all, mortgage applications at the end of April 3rd fell to the lowest that it's been in a while, down to 17.9%. Also, refinancing and purchase applications fell quite significantly to 19.4% and 12.2%. Actually, the purchase applications is the lowest it's been since October 2015. And we'll see some of that in the numbers, but it's not as significant as I would have thought for our county, which is a positive. One good thing is, if you are looking at buying, I would suggest you get going with that, because rates are really good right now. 15-year note per guaranteed rate, is running about 2.5, 2.6. 30-year is right at about 3.3. I would suggest you speak with your lender. It depends upon credit. At the moment, it changes every day, but just when I called and checked Monday morning, that's where we were. So the first thing we're going to start with is active listings. So actual for April 2019 was 2007. April 2020 up to April 12th, we had about 2188 active listings. That's an increase, but I don't consider it that much of an increase considering in March 2020 we were at 2198. So new listings is a significant change though. For March 2020 we're at 670, and currently for April 2020 we're trending at 542. As of April 12th we had 217 new listings. So that's a drop where we haven't really seen a drop before. So we'll continue to watch that number. Good news is that average days on market actually is lower than it was in March 2020. It dropped by about 20 days to 76 days. So that's usually what we see as summer gets here, when the housing market really starts picking up. Usually we'll see a reduction of days on market. As you can tell from March 2019 we were at 116 days, and then on April in 2019 we're at 63 days, which was a drop. So we can should have anticipated that drop. Expired listings is interesting because we're still at about trending at about 550, 580 plus. So that's something to watch as people continue to pull their homes off market and there's not a lot of new listings. So when you have less sellers and less listings, right, and you have more buyers, then it's kind of a selling market. Vice versa, if you have more listings and less buyers, then it's more of a buyer's market. And that's kind of what we're going to watch for, and one of the trends we're going to continue to watch. I don't see where we're at either one of those. We're still at a fairly equal playing field, but we're going to have to continue to watch. Number of sales, that's a number we're going to have to continue to watch, of course. So at the middle of April, so on April 12th, we were at 95 sales. Estimate that puts us, if I just turn it into a monthly number, that puts us at about 238 for the month, which is a significant drop from March 2020 and a significant drop from April 2019. So we'll see what the actual number is. You usually have more closings though towards the end of the month. So I did not take that into account. I just truly turned it into a monthly number, into a 30-day number. But usually you see more closings at the end of the month. So we'll watch to see if that number doesn't change some as we continue through April. Average sales price though did go up significantly from April 2019. We were at $220,000, and currently as of April 12th we're at about $250,000 is the average, and it even went up from March 2020. So that could be more new construction on the market. There's a lot of different variables that play into that, so we'll continue to monitor that for sure for April. Something that's very telling though is the months of inventory. How I get that number for months of inventory is you simply divide the active listings by the number of sales. So that's how I get that number. Here we are trending between 4 and 5 since 2019 through 2020, and at the end of April, if the numbers hold true, we'll be looking at about 9, which is a significant jump as far as inventory. But like I said, we have more sales usually at the end of the month than we do at the beginning of the month. So I don't want to, throw out the panic yet, but it's just something to realize when you really start looking at the numbers. Some numbers and key factors that we'll need to continue to watch. So a couple of things before I wrap up the Know the Numbers series for this week is, number one is that insurance companies are providing rebates since really nobody's traveling to work. So contact your insurance company and get that money. Pull all your gift cards you have in your drawers at home that you're like go to the mall and you say, oh, I forgot my gift card. Well, now you can buy something online with your gift card. And then also, don't forget, if you want to continue to see this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be doing this every week and sharing the number series. And as always, if you're moving from or moving to, call a Carter with A. Carter Real Estate Group and we'll be happy to help you. Thank y'all, and y'all have a great week. Bye.